Warning. This video contains ideas which are not government approved.
First, the news. DHS supplier provides shooting targets of American gun owners. Paul Joseph Watson has this shocking story about how Law Enforcement Targets Incorporated is producing cardboard cutouts of, quote, non-traditional threats. Of course, this is on the heels of the federal government purchasing in excess of 2 billion bullets for non-law enforcement, non-lethal agents. What the hell is going on? They're producing targets that say do not hesitate, of children, of pregnant women, of elderly men, in summary, of society's most vulnerable and typically most innocent citizens. You just cannot believe these cutouts, but they produce them, and you've really got to ask why, on the heels of Homeland Security and other agencies preparing to deal with the American people, openly stating they consider them to be potential extremists and the enemies in the event of an economic or civil unrest event, anything really they can use to justify a total literal occupation of America through Homeland Security and related agencies. Now let's roll some of those incredible cardboard cutouts, again, that they say are going to be used by law enforcement who need to get over their hesitation factor for enemies they may encounter, quote, for the first time. And the obvious question is, why is there such a demand for these items, which, again, show nothing other than old ladies? There's a child with a gun, maybe 6 or 7 years old. There's a pregnant woman photographed in a nursery who's the target. Now, why is the officer there with the drawn gun in the nursery in the first place? Does he have a warrant? Has there been due process? Why does he consider this pregnant woman to be the enemy? Why are they planning to take down vulnerable and ordinary Americans? This is really bizarre, and it really should strike a nerve. Something unsettling is happening. This is on the heels of more and more gun confiscation, which we've heard again and again from sheriff, law enforcement, and from Americans in general that they won't put up with, they won't tolerate with, they won't cooperate with, because we have the Second Amendment, because shall not infringe.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just trying to get some information. I saw on your website that you had some targets that you were selling to Department of Homeland Security with gun owners. Pictures on them?
With gun owner pictures on them?
Real gun owner pictures. You were selling them as targets?
Okay.
Do you have any information on that?
What kind of information would you like?
Well, we're just wondering if it was true or not.
We do have targets, yes. That no hesitation target, I'm assuming that you're speaking of.
Right, and it has pictures of pregnant ladies and women. And
there's a pregnant woman on there, yes.
Why is that?
The targets. It's a requested law enforcement target for training.
Why would the law enforcement have to train to shoot pregnant women?
Sir, I think you'd have to call your local law enforcement agency to find that out. I do not personally know.
Why would your guys' company provide pictures of real gun owners and pregnant women as targets?
Well, I don't know what you mean by real gun owners.
Well, the pictures that are on the targets are actually pictures of real people who are gun owners.
Well, we train, or we sell to all gun owners.
I understand that.
And we do carry a lot of real-life photos.
You don't see a problem with pregnant people selling photos of pregnant people with guns to shoot pregnant ladies?
Unfortunately, our world is made up of people, pregnant or otherwise, that are not always they're not gun owners, not for the right reasons, and
I've never known any.
Well, you're very fortunate, and neither have I, and I feel very fortunate. But
how would you feel if they put your picture on a target?
And there are people out there that harm children, unfortunately, and heartbreaking.
No, I understand that. Ma'am.
And that's what these targets are meant to do, is to train our police officers.
Do you think it could put a false precedent for citizens being targets of a tyrannical government?
But, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not going to debate the issue with you. I can certainly report your concerns to the proper people in our company. I'd be more than happy to do that for you.
Okay. Sure, I'd like my concerns noted, ma'am.
I certainly will do that, and I respect your concerns. I can do that for you.
Okay. What's your name, by the way, ma'am? I'm sorry.
I would rather not give my name out.
Oh.
I feel like you're a little angry, and I don't.
Well, I mean, could you understand why I'm upset if the government is trying to make targets to kill citizens? I don't feel that's right.
I understand where you're coming from. Yes, sir, I do.
Because do you know? I mean, they could make you out to be a target too. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. But there are two sides to the situation, and maybe maybe you could take a second look and understand that it is not meant to harm anybody.
I understand it, but it seems like most of the targets went to the Department of Homeland Security, and they purchased enough rounds to kill every citizen in the United States 5 times over, and I think it's kind of spooky that they would do that.
And again, that is, that they don't buy the rounds here. We have those targets. I don't know that they bought them here. I don't know if we're exclusive for these targets. But yes, I respect your concerns, and I certainly will. Unfortunately, I'm not the correct department.
I understand.
I'll certainly.
Do you want my name and number?
I can. Yes, I was going to. There we go. I'm ready.
Okay, my name is Blaine Cooper.
Okay.
And my number is 928-632-5156.
928-632-5156?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I as I said, I understand concerns, but I also
it's scary because I'm just thinking of how out of control our government is, and now I just feel that we're all becoming targets for the government. And when I see something like that, you're like, why? That's weird.
It's and basically they're meant to be don't shoot targets for training.
Right.
So an officer
it could be used for either way.
Can recognize the situation and know whether to shoot or not to shoot. That is basically what these targets are called. I see. And unfortunately, in our world today, we need, to be quite honest with you, sir, I've never picked up a gun in my life.
Right.
So,
hopefully, the citizens never have to pick up arms against their government.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? But I do know that I also, on the other hand, I do know that I have children, grandchildren, an elderly parent. So I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
I understand.
I can see that there's two sides.
Right.
But I will certainly share your concerns, and I appreciate the phone call.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Have a great day.
You too.